Dial-Roberson Stadium, where Wilmington College will take on Ohio Northern University. Today's game brought to you by the following sponsors: John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco. I'm Dave Helmstetter. Alongside me today, Michael Hearn. Welcome to the snowy confines of Ohio Northern University. 32 degrees and a snowy forecast for this afternoon's Ohio Athletic Conference contest between Wilmington and Ohio Northern. Taking a look at Ohio Northern, Michael, you know, and talking with Coach Dean Paul, you know, talking about right direction this season is going for next year. But it really hinges on today's game because they had a great game last week, best game perhaps of the season, 42-7 win over Otterbein. But the momentum going forward for next season really relies on how well Ohio Northern plays today.
Yeah, it just so happens that today's senior day. They honored the, I believe he said 19 seniors before this one got started. But you look at last week, things that could go right all went in their way. They snapped that 6-game losing streak with a 42-7 win over Otterbein, or as my northern friends call them, Otterbein. 462 yards of total offense, and that was something that we talked about way back when it was warm in August and we were doing these games here from the frozen tundra, that this is a Northern offense, that, especially with Taz Figueroa at quarterback, that they have the possibility they can do some big things. They were always just 1 or 2 steps away. Remember, we were here about a month ago, and there was a drop touchdown that would have gotten them to within, I think, 17-7 of John Carroll. There was a couple of bad snaps on a couple of plays, and it never really went that way, but you can give yourself a heck of a bookmark to end 22 today.
Yeah, in Wilmington, they come in, their record is 3-6 overall, 2-6 in OAC play. The Polar Bears 2-7 and 2-6 in league play. Let's take a look at our keys to the game today. First for the Wilmington College Quakers, all brought to you by Keyhole Pizza.
It's not a big shock that number one has handled the weather. And that's something that they've done a really good job of clearing off the field the last handful of minutes as the coin toss is underway right now. You see there in the back, but this is the one that to me that stands out a little bit, as Northern will get the football first. We'll find out how well Wilmington can handle the run game for Ohio Northern, because it's not something they do well. Over 200 yards a game, they're last in the OAC, and almost 5 yards a carry. And then they themselves have to try to run the football, and that has been at times their own worst enemy, because they only average about 90 yards a game.
And let's take a look at the keys to the game for Ohio Northern, and pretty similar tones from Coach Dean Paul from throughout the season, but nonetheless, it's the key to Ohio Northern's success.
And win a turnover battle obviously is one that you can do a lot of. If you can control the football, you can control kind of the line of scrimmage and limit your opponent's big plays, but yourself, if you're able to get a big play, I would be shocked, just based on the wind and the weather that's kind of this cross-stream snowing that's going on right now, that Ohio Northern is able to throw the football effectively today. But if they get 1 or 2 big plays, maybe a quick little bubble screen to somebody like Jordan Dean or Jack DeMario, who's able to take off, sky's the limit for them, what they can do.
Yeah, and you take a look at the offensive numbers for these two teams. Scoring offense, they stand 9th and 10th in the OAC. Ohio Northern 15.7 points per game. Wilmington College 17 points per game. And this would be a great opportunity, or a great game for Brock Martin to have the game of the season for Ohio Northern.
I mean, why not go out on a complete high note, right? He had 50 yards. He's only averaging about 3 yards a carry right now, but as a Wilmington team, that it sets up for the fact that he could have a monster day, coming off of what is now, he's one of 3 kids today, fifth-year seniors that'll see their last action in their school record 44th start. Austin Ike and Dom DeFalco, the other 2, but that just goes to show the cornerstone of what he's been for this offense and what he can be today. He and Jameer Nunley both had big games last week.
And you look at Wilmington College, and they do have a nice quarterback. At least the statistics are indicating that Adam Dixon is one of the premier quarterbacks in the conference, 4th in the OAC, 216-plus yards throwing it. He's got 16 touchdown passes on the season.
Well, and a first-year starter, too, but he came right out of the gates at Southern Virginia, 7 touchdowns to break the school record. So he can throw the football, but it's a matter of can he throw a frozen brick that anybody else could catch.
Yeah, when we arrived here at the stadium, it definitely was snow covered. At least now we can see the turf here at Dial-Roberson Stadium, and we're set to kick it off. Thanks for joining us here on NKTelco Sports. And the Quakers kick is going to be short. It's going to bounce at the 40, 35-yard line. So Ohio Northern will have good field position as Austin Ike will make the catch. And let's see where the officials will spot the football. But Ohio Northern looks to have decent field position here to start this final game of the 2022 season for Ohio Northern and Wilmington College. Football will rest at the 38-yard line.
That's one way. If you're going to kick it to Austin Ike, you're going to be happy that he didn't do a lot with it, because he's a guy that can get from here to there, as they say, in no time flat.
Aiden Figueroa will start at quarterback. Freshman, outstanding effort against Otterbein. Martin will fake to Martin, and they'll try and swing it out. Short pass to Noah Miller, and the big tight end from Coldwater unable to pull that one in, so it's going to make it 2nd down and 10.
Good design on that play. It just, I don't know how, I said a frozen brick. I don't know how that football feels right now. Figueroa doesn't have any gloves on either, so if he maybe just didn't get it high enough to flip that pass to Miller.
Figueroa will take the snap, right side of Wilmington. Looked like they jump. He's going down the field. Open, passes caught at the 25-yard line. Nice gain by L.J. Payton, and that's how Ohio Northern started last week against Otterbein.
Well, that's one way to do it. I guess I picked the wrong guy. Should have picked one of the outside receivers for that first play. You see the replay. He just streaks right behind as this is the Northern entrance from earlier. They and the band on the field at the same time. There's the play, and the just a quick strike. Good little play action fake and a huge gain.
And it's 1st and 10. Ohio Northern threatening on the first series. Martin is going to go right side and a yard or two, maybe a gain of a yard.
That 45-yard pass would have set this team up in the red zone, and you look defensively, this is not a team that stops a lot of people. 15-21 for Wilmington on the defensive end.
Figueroa, Miller in motion, comes to the slot to the right side. Martin in the backfield. He'll get the call straight ahead across the 15, pushes to the 10, continuing to push. Nice run by Brock Martin as the pile will move to about the 6-yard line or so.
I think he got enough for the first down. And it is, and that's one of the bigger runs for Martin, but you got to get him going early on. It would be such a big thing for him if he's able to get into the end zone, as Nick Changerman, who caught a touchdown pass of over 40 yards last week, into the game.
High Northern ready to go to the line. Ike will go to the far left side, Tangeman to the short right side. Figueroa, Miller to his right. Wilmington almost jumps. Martin with the handoff. Good defensive play there. Looks like Jake Sheriff with the stop.
What a great name for a defensive player,
isn't it?
He's the Sheriff.
I love it. You're right. The Sheriff gets the job done that time. Makes it 2nd down and 8. Payton will come back in to the lineup, as does Jet Morgan. And Morgan will line up to the right side.
Morgan trying to show out with those shoes. Senior out of Worcester.
Figueroa surveys the Wilmington defense. He's going to throw it for the end zone and overshoots Payton. And it's incomplete. Clock will stop at 12:27.
Yeah, I don't know if you get a chance to see the replay, but it was kind of an interesting thing for Figueroa as he faked with Brock Martin. He already has got the defense who's trying to either guess the cadence or they have the cadence and they're jumping on it, but he had to hurry up and get rid of it, and just that play never developed.
Ike and Payton to the left side, 2 receivers to the right side, and Miller and Morgan. Motion, Ike to the right side as they flood the right side. That's where Figueroa looks under pressure. He's going to scramble. He's at the 10, dives across the 5 to near the end zone.
Down around the 3 or the 4. And watch the replay here. Watch this block by Brock Martin to pick up the middle linebacker. Just right there keeps Figueroa on a swivel, and he's able to get out to the other side. Luckily, they didn't call that block in the back.
So it's going to be 4th down and 3. First big opportunity for Ohio Northern this afternoon.
Pretty simple. You got to put it in the end zone.
Ball rests at the 3-yard line. Clock counting down at 11:45.
Zone read right. Nope.
He's going right. Now he's going to scramble, looking for the end zone under pressure.
Oh, my goodness. Noah Miller
with the catch.
What a beautiful play. And that is the escapability we talked about Aiden Figueroa. Watch this play break down. I thought maybe they were going to go Martin off to the right side, but he's able to duck a defender, turn, come back, use his lineman as a pick. And Noah Miller's been that wide open since he was a senior at Coldwater High School.
Wide open is Miller, and with 11:33 on the first quarter clock, Ohio Northern scores first. It's 6-0. Extra point kick coming up. DeFalco. High snap, put down, kick looks good. And it is our score. Ohio Northern 7, Wilmington 0. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
Whatever Cards and Games in Ada is your locally owned, family-friendly business for all your gaming needs. We carry a wide range of collectible card games, board games, family games, role-playing games, educational games for all ages, and more. Stop in today for your much-needed expansion packs and war miniatures. We are an official tournament store for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Cardfight Vanguard. Expect an enjoyable time at Whatever Cards and Games, where there's fun for everyone.
It took Ohio Northern 3 minutes and 27 seconds to find the end zone as Noah Miller catches the pass from Aiden Figueroa for 3 yards, and Ohio Northern with the Falcons' extra point lead 7-0, and Ohio Northern off to that quick start that they had desired.
And that's his first touchdown reception of the year, Miller. Had a catch last week, didn't go for a touchdown as Wilmington. I'm curious to see what they do. You saw in the keys of the game as that ball is going to reach the end zone that we talked about winning the turnover battle. It's not been something that's gone Wilmington's way. They're -5 all in the year, and this is a defense that creates a lot of opportunities, but unfortunately they've kind of had some things go the other way on the offensive side.
So Wilmington with 3 victories this season. Won the opener early against Southern Virginia.
That was a blowout. 25 of 41, 382, 7 touchdowns for Adam Dixon.
Dixon will call the signals. They'll hand it off. Straight ahead it goes at the 30, at the 40, on the run and into Ohio Northern territory.
Nehemiah Jenkins.
Jenkins with the carry. Gotta love those Ohio Northern the Wilmington uniforms. That
watch this replay.
Green.
There's a spin move, a stiff arm, and a lot of running down the sideline as he picked up a ton of yards.
Nehemiah Jenkins with the run. Football rests just inside the 45. He'll get the call again. Straight ahead he goes, maybe a yard depending on the mark.
I think he might get a favorable spot here.
Looks like they're going to give him a yard. So that'll make it 2nd down and 9.
Our Kadarius Woodfork with the tackle at Haywood, Tennessee, his 40th of the year.
Dixon stands at the Ohio Northern 49. He'll take the snap. He's going to throw it right side. Ohio Northern defense reads it beautifully, and that's Ed Manning with the stop.
It's a terrific play for him. It's much warmer where he's from, but you could see he kind of got blocked into it, and he was just standing there when the ball got there.
Loss of 3 yards, so let's make it 3rd down and 12.
It's a busy day here in Ada, by the way. Much warmer over at the Kinghorn Center, where the Ohio Northern men fell to Denison 79-75 in the opener this season.
Lots of activity on campus. Good crowd here on hand for the season finale.
I would think the bookstore sold a lot of blankets and hoodies today.
I bet they did. Dixon will take the snap. Jones left side passes up to Wynn.
Northern's also winning the men's soccer game, which started, by the way, in a blizzard, and it's now tapered off a little bit. I heard a guy tell me a little bit ago that he told the men of the Ohio Northern soccer program, hey, make sure you stay warm and have a good game today. Said if I was them, I'd have just walked away from him.
That's 32 degrees and snow with an exclamation point.
About 6 of them.
Wilmington will kick it away. Low kick. It's
Did you hear that?
At the 20. It sounded like hit a rock or something.
I like
thud.
I like the gentleman that downed it, tried to push it across a couple more yards before he picked it up.
Football's at the 16, and Ohio Northern will start at their own 16. It's kind of like a thud on that kick.
That's what I said. I joked about a frozen brick earlier on, but my goodness, it literally sounded like that.
Northern offense back out onto the field. Peyton and Ike will go to the Wilmington side. Martin in the backfield. Short pass almost intercepted, and boy, that had touchdown written all over it, as number 7 just missed the interception for...
I think it was 2. I think it was Jelon Covington.
2. Covington.
Oh, man, he's got to just be hating. And I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with, obviously, the scouting that Wilmington has done, because that's about the 3rd time that they have been exactly where Northern wants to go.
Yeah, Covington had a touchdown there. Figueroa, he'll take off with it, gets it across the 20. Nice gain. He's going to set up 3rd down and about 4.
And Figueroa is not a big runner. All the year averages about 3 yards a carry. The freshman out of Orange City, Florida. But it's a good look at kind of, if they're not going to give you Brock Martin, you got to make them pay on the other side if you're Figueroa with your legs.
Ohio Northern looking at a 3rd down and 4. Martin in the backfield with Figueroa. 2 receivers to both sides for the Polar Bears. Figueroa's going to throw it. Here comes the pressure. And
I think it was Sheriff again.
Weichel. I think it was number 10 that time. Weichel was one that had it. Might be also Sheriff in on the stop. So big sack. That'll push it back to 4th down and 10.
Yeah, he just made a great move.
Also in there is Stinnett, number 11.
Weichel just decided he was going to run past everybody.
So John Michael Elliott, 37.9 yards per punt this season, will stand inside his 5-yard line and kick it away.
Oh, good ball.
Line drive kick, but it's a good one.
Oh.
Near miss on the tackle, but they'll get it back up to about the 48-yard line. So
kicked that one just like the Northern men did to tie the game up next door.
Yep, what is it, 1-1?
1-1 now. That's a better punt there than I thought it was going to be. Blake Hirschberger, the former Allen East Mustang, and I believe 2-time NWC Defensive Player of the Year with a tackle. That kid was a beast at Allen East. Not only a 1,000-yard rusher, but I feel like he had 100 tackles every year.
Say Dixon will call the signals. 3-man front for Ohio Northern. Dixon loses the football, but Wilmington will fall on it.
That was Miles Aldrich, I think, the Shawnee product with the knockaway. Looked like he and Michael Johnson both got up there.
Good pressure by Ohio Northern.
And what's crazy about that play, though, is that it had enough time that did it not look like they had two different fakes? Because they faked the reverse going each way, and then he still had time until the pocket collapsed.
Second down and 18. Two receivers to the right side. He's got to go to Jenkins, rather, and he's not going to go anywhere.
Well, he made a lot of friends in black jerseys. Garth Brooks has got friends in low places, and he's got friends in black jerseys.
Lots of them, too.
That might be, he was just trying to stay warm, you think that's what it was?
he did attract a lot of attention.
Austin Cologne with the tackle, sophomore.
No gain, third down and 18.
So they always joke about how it's a good day to make a new friend. Just cuddle up in the seats and see what happens. Colin Flynn and A.J. D'Souza on that last tackle.
Dix straight back. Completes the pass at the Ohio Northern 48-yard line. As number 3, Atiko Wynn with the catch. Wynn's caught 6 touchdown passes this season.
That's a good-looking ball, but I question that you don't run the route to the boundary on third down and 18. I mean, you're able to get to the line, yeah, but now you're still forced to punt.
Yeah, you end up 6 yards short of the first down.
Wynn Jr. had 7 catches for 161 yards and 3 scores in that opener against Southern Virginia, but that's his 191st catch of his career.
Short kick. It's at about the 28, goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it, but Ohio Northern will have better field position on this possession. They lead it 7-0 over Wilmington.
You can see the punt. Just watch it hit and roll. Oh, watch out! Right into your living room. Hi there.
Hello. Wilmington defender says hello.
Just wave to mom back home. Maybe she's watching. I think it was Zach Schmidt who was just stopping by. Oh, thought it was 6. TV man in the truck says it was Caleb Easley. He got a better view.
Handoff to Nunley. And he'll gain a couple of yards, gain of 3. Make it second down and 3. Second down and 7, excuse me.
Not quite sure what they're chanting down there.
Making some noise, place is lively. Got the polar bear.
And it's crazy too, because where we sit in the press box, you have a kind of straight on view of the entire campus here, which is beautiful, even when it snows. But it's not snowing hard, it just looks like white stuff just falling out of the sky.
Handoff is dropped. Figueroa will pick it up, and he'll move it up to about the, like they'll mark it at the 29, so pick up of a yard.
I say that, and someone's going to say, thanks, meteorologist guy. But what I mean is, it's not a heavy snow.
No, it's just
it's just
right
snowflakes and flurries just kind of falling out. You see them, but if you look at the screen that we're looking at, I mean, it's a different view than kind of what we have, but it really is going each way. It's blowing back and forth.
Figueroa take the snap. Looks to his left, over the middle. Nice defensive play there by Wilmington.
Is it fascinating to know which sideline you're on, that each team would see that play differently? It looked like it was able to kind of just set up and reach outside, knock it away.
And Elliott will punt it away, number 92.
So the 4th straight punt after Northern scored on 8 plays to open the game.
7-0 our score. 3 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Ohio Northern and Wilmington. Short kick. Gets at the 44. Bounces inside the 40-yard line. It's going to go out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. So Wilmington will take over, 1st and 10 at the 35. And
about a 36-yard kick.
3:27 to go.
So
First quarter.
We were talking about John Michael Elliott, the punter, out of Richmond, Virginia. When he was in high school, he went to John Carroll in 2019, won a kicking competition, hit a 45-yard field goal to win it as a sophomore in high school. It's pretty good.
He's had a 76-yard and a 74-yard punt this season.
Which are the 2 longest in the OAC.
Number 3 in the OAC. Ball is loose. Let's see, does Ohio Northern have a shot at it?
I don't think so.
I think the officials are ruling it down.
I think Irigoyen was the one just in the high bear hug tackle.
2nd down and 8.
It's got to be frustrating a little bit because Dixon has had time. He's just not been able to connect to it, but one big play.
He looks to his left. He's going long. Pass is overthrown for Covington.
Actually, Lathan
Jones, excuse me. Sydney.
Football,
high
basketball,
school graduate. Yep.
Baseball. Played for Adam Dunges, the head coach that just stepped away at Sydney a couple of weeks ago, or a week or so ago. And big game against Otterbein, though. 4 catches, 204, and 2 touchdowns.
Jones was the 2nd-team Miami Valley League performer his senior year.
Was an all-GWAC kid before that. Before Sydney moved to different conferences.
Straight back over the middle. Pass is almost intercepted, but it'll be incomplete as Jong had a shot at it. But
the number 9 tackler in the NCAA. And the number 1. You remember, it wasn't that long ago. He's 100 tackles right now. We were talking about how he was number 3 in the OAC, but he averaged something crazy like 15 a game. I didn't realize. I went back and did some more research thinking maybe he was going to have a big game here today. When he was in high school, he was a receiver, and he was offered by Carnegie Mellon. So obviously he's a pretty smart kid. But he also had a dad who was a coach. Broke his hand as a senior and came back and played as DeMario gets a good return.
He'll get up near midfield as we've got a penalty marker. Looks like it might go against Ohio Northern. Polar Bears would have the ball at near midfield, but let's see what the call is. That was a holding call against Ohio Northern. Penalty will go back to the 40-yard line. That's Ohio Northern will start there.
Yeah, they caught Donnie Crawford on the hold. So great field position, though. Best they've started with so far.
Football rests at the 40-yard line. Nunley in the backfield this time for Ohio Northern. Figueroa in trouble. He'll scramble out of the pocket, looking downfield, loses the football, picked up by Wilmington, and they're going to have possession of it around the 25-yard line.
That's what I heard the man say. Stinnett was the guy on the return.
Stinnett, number 11. 5'7", 200-pound junior.
Watch here, you see the replay. Out of Springfield. Played for the Wildcats. And this is kind of, I think, a freshman mistake because to that point where that goes before Stinnett picks up the, hey, look what I found. Figueroa never really made a decision on what he was going to do there. He either needed to run out of bounds or get rid of it.
Noah Perry with the big sack for Wilmington. Stinnett with a return. They're going to mark it at the 31-yard line.
First time either team has been in opponent territory to start a drive.
Dixon, he looks left. He's in trouble. Northern defense after him. Still looking for the end zone. He's going to throw it there. It's a throw up, and it's going to be
caught for a touchdown.
Caught for a touchdown.
That is
that's Lathan Jones, wasn't it?
Yep, that's the pass to Lathan Jones again.
Jones with the touchdown. I wasn't sure exactly how that one was going to work out, but Jones with the reception. 31-yard touchdown pass, and it's now 7-6. Wilmington needs the extra point to tie it up.
Talked about big plays earlier on, but it was kind of more about the Northern offense than it was not giving it up on the defensive end. I am excited. I can't wait to see the replay of this because I thought for sure.
I thought it got tipped.
I thought it was going to be intercepted.
What? Right.
It looked like a duck in the air.
Extra point is good. So with
Here
2:04, let's take a look at that play one more time.
It's a great play by Dixon right there. Just to get away, but then I thought, you're not really going to fire that in the end zone, are you?
There's a lot of black jerseys around it. And Jones just takes it away. So Wilmington ends up with a touchdown. Our score, Ohio Northern 7, Wilmington 7. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports. Back here at Ohio Northern, Wilmington with a 31-yard touchdown pass to Lathan Jones. And we're just looking at that replay again, Michael. That was a great catch by Jones.
I'm still not sure how he did it, to be honest with you. I saw it and I thought, oh, 8. It's a battle of 8s. Terrion Ross had a shot at it. Either that went through a window in front of him or my eyes are deceiving because that was a crazy play. Of course, the ball falls off the tee.
So they'll try that again. But, yeah, it looked like Ohio Northern had a better shot at it than anybody. And the two defenders unable to come up with it. And somehow Jones does. So
you got to feel good about it in the air, though, if you're Northern, because you got two guys standing on the front half of the end zone. They're not going to be able to get through us to get that. Dixon made a hell of a throw, and Jones made a heck of a catch.
And it ties it up. So Wilmington takes advantage of the fumble by Ohio Northern. We're blocked at 7-all here with 2:04 to go. First quarter action from Ohio Northern. There's a short kick. I guess it was an onside kick.
Didn't go 10 yards.
Went about 9 yards, so they'll have it. Ohio Northern's going to have it in Wilmington territory.
I don't think he hit it right.
I'm not sure if that was an onside.
Brandon Gideon.
Just bizarre.
I don't know if it was because you have to have someone who's maybe not familiar with you to hold that. Gideon gives ONU great field position. He fell down to 49. They put him at the 50.
That's football rest right in the middle of the field at the 50. So Ohio Northern, let's see if they can counter that Wilmington touchdown here.
This is their 5th possession of the first quarter.
Figueroa, Nunley with it.
Nothing
there. That might be a loss on the play.
Nunley tried to get the motor going, but unfortunately for him, the guy who jumped in front of him just jumped on his back, and Caleb Easley said hi to his mom back in Albany, Ohio. And then earlier, and now he gets a big stop here.
48-yard line is where the football will rest as Figueroa. 2 receivers to the wide side, 1 to the short side, and Ike looks over the middle, but he's under pressure, and down he goes, and that's Joey Weichel again.
Just a straight bull rush and an 8-yard loss, and now I joked about Northern lost a yard at field position. As look at Figueroa, he got up a little gingerly trying to put himself back together, and now they've lost 10 more yards. What's your 3rd and 20 play, Dave?
It's go long. Something down over the middle, maybe. Let's see what they do.
Why not have Martin pitch out and throw the ball?
Martin's in the backfield, so let's see what happens. Figueroa takes the snap. Over the middle. Pass in to
Mario.
DeMario, intended receiver. It's incomplete. That stops the clock with just 32 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Northern will be forced to punt it again.
And again, this will end their 5th possession, and we still have 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Outside of the touchdowns, you've got 5 punts and a fumble in this ball game.
Elliott will kick it away. Good snap. Nice kick. Fair catch. Schmidt will make the fair catch at 23-yard line or so. And they'll mark it at the 25. Okay.
I'd give it up trying to figure it out.
So there's 25 seconds left on the clock.
I also have the advantage of being able to see it from an enclosed box and not the snow in my face.
That's correct.
Maybe he just saw a different line.
Handoff. Jenkins at the 30, across the 35.
Michael Johnson got him, but not until he picked up 14.
Gets all the way to the 39. Jenkins really is a good-looking runner.
Had 2 runs for about 50 yards in this game.
3 receivers to Dixon's left. Jenkins is going to get the call again.
Same guy.
This time, Ohio Northern will have something to say about that. It's Johnson in on the stop, I believe, for the Polar Bears.
111 career tackles, 24 for loss.
It's going to end our first quarter of action from Ohio Northern. Our score, Ohio Northern 7, Wilmington 7. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
At Four Seasons drive-thru, we have the coolest beverages in town and specials to satisfy all appetites.
Check out our Facebook page for all the details and times of Browndy's Pies. Get this great pizza by the slice or take home a whole pie. And don't forget his spectacular subs.
At Four Seasons drive-thru, we have all the supplies you need for game day celebrations.
Four Seasons drive-thru, 205 North Main Street in Ada. Great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Go Bears!
We're tied up here at Ohio Northern. Polar Bears and Wilmington at 7 each as we move into the second quarter. And Amaya Jenkins, pretty good strong runner for Wilmington. And I kind of liked your advice during and between quarters. Let's give it to him.
I just go with the simplest thing. They ask you how you do it on Madden mode. You look at what he's done. He's out of Bradenton, Florida. Was a 4-year letter winner and a 1-year starter. His 1 year as a starter, he ran for 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. It's back to the air, go the Quakers. Gain of 15 yards to win. Almost 200 catches in his career.
Football is at Ohio Northern's 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Wilmington on the move here as we begin quarter number 2.
You know who the quarterback's favorite or least favorite person is today? Whoever's in charge of keeping the footballs warm on the sideline.
Jenkins.
Depends on how he does his job.
That's right. Keeping it warm. Nice gain by Jenkins. Makes it 2nd down and 6.
Jenkins, he did hoops. Outside of football, he did weightlifting. You can see, big kid, 6 foot, 180 pounds. As a freshman, he's only going to get bigger in the weight room at Wilmington. But the thing that jumped out to me most was he was a tennis player in high school.
Dixon going deep. Pass is going to be incomplete. Clock will stop at 14:07.
Good play fake, not enough room. Nathan Jones has to say, they don't have hills like this. I have to climb up in Springfield. This is a crazy thing. Big kid, plays well. Played tennis in high school.
That's unusual.
You don't see a lot of running backs who play tennis.
Usually they're doing track.
I guess it makes sense, though. Good lateral movement. Marietta beating up on Muskingum 41-13.
Jenkins in the backfield. Dixon. Pass is complete. Beautiful catch there.
Look what I found.
Fauci with the catch, number 7.
Out of Holy Cross High School in Louisville, Kentucky. Not a great day for Louisville, by the way. They just lost 73-72 at the buzzer to Wright State. Yet another big loss for them.
Nice win for the Raiders.
They beat Louisville multiple times now.
Dixon's going to keep it, and then he's just going to go down at the 31-yard line.
He ran like they told him they were running out of steak and chicken up at Jalapenos.
I think that was a planned play.
I don't think so. Based on his reaction to it, he put it in his left hand and he did not look comfortable with it.
No, he did not.
He got around that corner and just saw nobody was there to help him and decided to take the easy way out. It's the smart way out.
2nd down and 11. Dixon looks left. He's going to run with it now. Still on his feet, and he'll get to the 21-yard line.
Ran into the tackling machine, known as Dalton Jong. Again, not a planned play, but this time he said, you know, we've been able to split those 2 blitzers. Let's just see what we can do here. And in the whole time, it looked like when he got about 5 yards downfield that he was in between, should I slide or should I try to get the first down?
2 yards is what Wilmington needs for a first down. 3rd down play coming up for the Quakers. Going for the end zone.
Nearly. With Jones again.
Incomplete. Just out of his reach.
That's an interesting play call, though. From here, again, armchair quarterback and all that, but on 3rd and 2, you've got a guy like Jenkins who has picked up about 11 yards a carry on his first 3 carries, and you lined up to throw the ball. You had to have known going in it was going to be a 2-play call and that you were always going to go for it on 4th down if you didn't get it. Because now he's got a couple of bruisers in there.
Now we've got a couple of running backs. Number 44, Sparks Matthews, and number 28 will take it straight ahead. He goes. That's Hobbs.
I don't know that he got it, to be honest with you.
They're marking it on the other side of the 20, and that's good news for Ohio Northern if that's where the mark stays.
Yeah, he would be. I thought he went down. His knee hit around the 21 before he was able to reach the football.
So Ohio Northern's defense comes up with a big play.
You can judge for yourself. But it looked like a play that, you know, those plays are so hard because the timing of it has to be perfect. And I don't think that it was there.
So with 11:35 to go here in the first half, the Ohio Northern defense comes up with a big play. Polar Bears will come back out on offense. Going to reset the clock to 12:04.
That's nearly 30 seconds. I think it didn't stop on the turnover on downs because they hadn't made an initial signal.
Brock Martin will be in the backfield on this series. Martin straight ahead, across the 25. Nice gain by Martin.
I call that an elevator play because Brock Martin just sort of, as you're trying to get out of the elevator and everybody's trying to come in, you just try to weave your way through them.
Nice pickup, and it's 2nd down and 5.
It really does surprise me, though, that I get why Figueroa's a right-handed kid. He's not wearing gloves on his right hand, but he's having a lot of problems, it looks like, with his fingers being frozen, that he doesn't have a glove maybe on the other side.
Ike in motion. Figueroa going to the right side.
There's a hold.
no call. And
sort of a little up and out version of that route that was supposed to be Jordan Dean, but it looked like he was held coming off the line and wasn't able to make that break.
Clock will stop with 11:16. Third down and 5 for Ohio Northern.
Say all black jerseys with the white numerals, and I've been sitting there trying to figure out what the white thing was. I could see from Figueroa. He's got a white mouthpiece now that's on his helmet as opposed to he's kind of been wearing the standalone version all year.
Figueroa is going to go down. He'll fall at about the 24-yard line. Good defense there by Wilmington.
I'm pretty sure they just did the salute from Major League. Pretty positive. Luke Roten out of West Portsmouth was one of the kids in on the tackle.
So Schmidt will be deep for Wilmington, and Elliott will kick it away one more time.
Well, he's staying warm. He's coming out and punting now for the 4th time already. Unless he really zips one.
Good
Should be
snap.
good field position.
Fair catch is being made at the 40-yard line, so Wilmington will have it 1st and 10 at their own 40. Boy, I tell you, in a game in which we thought the offenses would dominate, it's only 7-7.
This is the 6th possession of the game for Wilmington. Yeah, last year, 62-27 in Wilmington. Brody Hahn, a school record 502 yards and 7 touchdowns. I don't know that I heard this correctly, but I heard that senior weekend that the all-time leading tackler, the former Miami Dolphin, and Jason Trusnick was in town this weekend. Maybe that's it's kind of given a speech and sparked the defense.
10 minutes, 21 seconds to go. Jenkins.
Miles Aldrich got him again. Aldrich is really impressed as the season has gone on. He's gone from kind of an ancillary piece where he was outside maybe the top 16 guys or so, but he's got 40 tackles coming in and has really earned himself a lot of playing time. You talked about it earlier on, kind of the future today meeting the present, and that I think they found the middle linebacker for the next couple years.
Wilmington looks to the sidelines. 2nd down and 13. They got a couple of nice-looking Shawnee products on the Ohio Northern roster in addition to Aldridge. Of course, Peyton Wilson. There's the pitch to the left side.
Michael Johnson again. Stops Jenkins from getting anywhere.
And Wilmington's offense having a hard time getting going here. 3rd down and it's 3rd down and about 16. Jenkins will stay in the backfield.
So 2 plays of -3 yards on the first 2.
So Ohio Northern looking if they can come up with a big play here on defense.
You'd almost get to Kenton to pick up a 1st down.
You're halfway there. There's the snap. Over the middle, pass is completed.
What a hit. I don't know if I'm more impressed by the hit that came from Colin Flynn or the fact that the receiver held on to it. Make your choice here. Watch, this is just a strike across the middle.
Flynn makes the catch for Wilmington. Boy, Flynn gets a nice look in there.
Bang.
Good hit.
Good clean hit, though, is the most important part.
4th down and 3. Larimer will kick it away for Wilmington. Low line drive kick fielded at the 21-yard line. DeMario with the return, and he'll get about 4 yards. They'll mark it at the 24, and Ohio Northern will have the football.
DeMario had to make sure to give the ball back. So here you go, sir.
Very courteous.
Shout out to his mama. It's an opportunity that Northern really can try to do something that will open up the game. Remember, it'll be Wilmington with the football to start the third. ONU 0-4 this season at home.
Looking for that first win here this afternoon. Figueroa fakes to Martin, rolls out.
Good throw to Jet Morgan.
Morgan will get it across the 35 to about the 37.
Figueroa, you'll see here, he paid for that one. A gain of 12, though. And that's one that, remember, he tried that earlier on, and he wasn't able to complete it, kind of on that backside throw. But this one developed a little more. It almost looked like it was going to be a counter of the run, but well-developed play by ONU.
3 receivers to the right side. Martin in the backfield. Figueroa, he's going to run it himself. He'll get it to the left side, goes across the 40-yard line. Brought down there by Zach Schmidt. Came into today's game with 79 tackles.
8 of 5. He said, you know, I'm not going to let a quarterback stiff arm me. That's just not going to happen.
2nd down and 5. This is a series in which Ohio Northern has dominated 30-4 over the years. Not a lot of Wilmington victories over the last 3 decades or so. Pitch to the right side. Martin's got some running room. 1st down and more. And he'll go deeper into Wilmington territory. Football
13 yards.
The 45-yard line.
I was kind of leery as that ball was in the air. You'll see here, watch Martin secure this, and then he just sprints through the hole right there. Goes into that 2nd level and gets to near and past midfield.
Martin again. Have a hard time getting back to the original line of scrimmage.
And he won't. He lost one. The sheriff is back.
He's on his horse with the tackle. Makes it 2nd down and 11.
It's a Wilmington defense that giving up 37 points a game. They've held Northern to 7 and a ton of punts here in the 1st half.
And Figueroa will keep it, but again, number 9, Jake Sheriff, leads the Wilmington charge there, and Polar Bears are going to be forced to look at a 3rd down and 13 as they look to the sidelines.
And if the noise I heard from the booth next stairs is any indication, they're not very happy in the ONU coaches room.
Wouldn't think they would be. Peyton and Ike to the left
That's a
side.
false start. Yeah.
Penalty.
LJ Payton started way early as he came in motion.
Freddie, number 72, Freddie Burchett, back into the lineup for Ohio Northern. As it's 3rd down, going to make it 18. Football back into Ohio Northern territory at the 47-yard line. Clock count. It's Figueroa takes the snap. He's going to run it. It's quarterback draw. He's got some room. He's at the 40, loses the football, and Wilmington's going to recover at the 45-yard line. Ball just pops loose as Figueroa is nearing a 1st down. Loose football, and Wilmington with the recovery. So big play for Wilmington. Take a look at that on the replay. There you see the run. There you see the loose football. And a recovery by Wilmington. So Quakers will have it. Football at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, clock at 4:42 to go. Over the middle. Pass is completed all the way to the 30-yard line. Big play. For Wilmington. It's going to be a 1st and 10 deep into Ohio Northern territory. Go the Quakers as they threaten to take the lead. And we've got an injured player on the field. That's Austin Collin. And got a break in the action with 4:34 to go. I'd like to thank our sponsors here today. Today's game brought to you by John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco. Bring you today's game between Ohio Northern and Wilmington. Also like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's college football action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Saturday, November the 19th at 4 p.m. and Monday, November 21st at 5 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. So that's correct. Got a bunch of them coming up here this season on NKTelco Sports. And boy, Wilmington trying to take advantage of the Ohio Northern miscue as they fumbled it deep in Wilmington territory. The big play over the middle, and Wilmington has lots of time left here in the first half to take the lead. 4:34 to go as Collin will go off the field. Looks like we're going to be set, ready to go here. Wilmington with the football. Dixon over the middle, looking, I believe that's Jones. Pass is incomplete. Pass for Stanon is incomplete. And that'll make it 2nd down and 10. 4:13 to go in this one. First half action. Play coming in from Wilmington.
He's actually from Wilmington. He's Jessamine. Probably get hate mail. I probably said it wrong.
Straight back goes Nixon, and pass is incomplete.
Does that count if the guy on the sideline catches it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah.
Pass
to be fair,
for
he
win.
tried it 3 times.
Incomplete. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 10 one more time. Football at the 30.
So one guy with a cowbell.
He's happy.
Just thinks if he rings it enough times, he'll be warm.
Keep ringing it. Dixon.
Needs more cowbell.
Straight back. He's looking to the right side. Over the middle. Pass is intercepted. Here comes the return for Ohio Northern.
I mean, Terrion Ross missed on that one earlier that went for a touchdown, but he wasn't going to miss the fly ball that was sent his way. 2nd pick of the year for him.
Big play. Let's take a look at that one more time.
Watch him just sit. He comes across the middle and just kind of waits. It's an overthrown ball.
Big interception, and Ohio Northern will keep Wilmington out of the end zone. 3:53 to go here in half number 1.
And this is your drive because you don't get the ball to open the 3rd. So whatever you want to do, you've got to do here to be able to take a lead going into the break.
Tangeman and Ike to the right side. Martin straight ahead. Gets it across the 25.
A good little game there.
6-yard pickup for Martin. Six rushes, 7 yards for Martin. Clock coming up on 3 minutes. Figueroa And chased out of bounds. Good stiff arm there by Nate Dean. And he's near the first down. He's got it. So
you'll see it here. It just throws the hand up of, I don't think so. I'm going to be over here. You're going to need to, excuse me, sir. You're going to need to get away from me. I'm going to the first down line. Thank you.
And he gets there. 1st and 10.
I still like the matchup on the outside of Nick Tangeman. I mean, he had that 40-plus yard reception for a touchdown last week. If you're Figueroa, if you can drop and run, maybe a ball over there.
He's looking that way, but once again, Wilmington comes up with a big play. That's number 11, Zarius Stinnett with the tackle.
Told him that's how we do in the 9-3-7.
I tell you, Stinnett is a definite version of a fireplug. 5'7", 200 pounds.
I saw him play when he was in high school at Springfield, and I thought the exact same thing.
Tangeman, he'll go to the right side. Ike next to him. Figueroa's going to run with it. Almost hits his own man, gets it across the 30, powers it across the 35.
Be the worst part when you get up. If you're the lineman, you got knocked down and got right back up again, and you look and you go, wait, my quarterback's still over here? Oh, I should try to get in front of him.
3rd down and 5.
Just bumped into the official.
Martin in the backfield.
See if Figueroa keeps this.
He's going to throw it. There's a safe play to Martin. Martin's got some running room, gets into Wilmington territory. Nice pickup by Brock Martin. It shows his versatility coming out of the backfield with that short pass as Ohio Northern picks up the 1st down.
It's almost the air version of the zone read offense. You see pickup 19, watch the play fake here, and then just a little leak out the backside from Brock Martin as he's able to take off and get across midfield.
See if Ohio Northern can keep this drive moving.
Figueroa 4 of 10 throwing the football now as Martin says we don't need that.
Hits to the 35, stays in bounds. Nice pickup again by Brock Martin. Clock at 1:09. Football at the 34, and Ohio Northern.
Martin with that 2nd level cut right there, able to gain 12 yards.
Nice pickup by Martin. Here comes Figueroa inside the 30. Northern will take the timeout. We'll take a break as well with 54 seconds left in the half. Ohio Northern 7, Wilmington 7. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
Nareda Lanes in Ada offers men's league bowls on Mondays and Wednesday evenings, women's league bowls on Thursday evenings, couples bowls on Friday evenings, kids bowl on Saturday mornings from December through March, Scotch mixed double bowls on the last Saturday of every month, open bowling on Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon reserve the bowling alley for children's birthday parties, and on Sunday lanes are available to reserve for birthdays of any age as well as for group events. Check out NaredaLanes.com for more info.
Brock Martin, 8 carries, 44 yards, an average of 5.5, really making a presence known here, and a nice catch there that picked up 19 yards, and Ohio Northern is threatening here as we move deeper into the 2nd quarter. Just 54 seconds remain. Figueroa from the pocket, intercepted, steps out of bounds. And Ohio Northern's effort is going to go by the wayside as well.
It's like 13 or 18. 13. You see the replay here. Watch, you're going to throw this ball to the sideline. It has to be at the sideline. You cannot underthrow this type of ball because the safety just jumps over the top and walks away with it. It's kind of the reverse of the same play on the other side for Northern. Jared Lee with his second interception of the year.
Lee makes the interception, clock at 48 seconds, and Wilmington with the football at the 2-yard line. And I'm sure they'll just try and run the clock out here if they can. Play clock is at 10 seconds. Dixon will take it in the end zone. Snap is there. Jenkins, trouble. Jenkins at the 20, cuts back inside at the 25, brought down near the 30-yard line, and for a moment I just had visions of a lot of green. And I'm sure that's what Jenkins saw as well.
He was thinking about that Tony Dorsett play. He run 99 yards. He's only got to go 98, though. But now, how much does it change your thinking if you're Wilmington?
Football's at the 30, still got a long way to go. Haven't seen their field goal kicker yet today. Jenkins, he's not going anywhere this time, as Ohio Northern will collapse on him in a hurry. Looked like number 39, that was Miles Aldrich again. It's going to make it 2nd down and 13, but clock's going to run out here. So we're going to end with a tie here at halftime. Our score, Ohio Northern 7, Wilmington 7. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
Households are using more connected devices than ever before. TVs are streaming, smartphones are browsing, security cameras are watching, and virtual assistants are, well, assisting.
You'll need an umbrella today.
As you add more devices, we are constantly improving our technology to deliver the fastest and most reliable internet to your home. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get NKTelco high-speed internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Call 1-888-NKTelco today.
My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Back here at Ohio Northern, Polar Bears and Wilmington tied up at 7-all. Let's take a look at our numbers from the first half. Boy, you take a look at this, Michael, and some miscues on Ohio Northern's part. Really a difference for Ohio Northern, and the main reason this game is tied at 7-all.
Yeah, punts are one that I would look at. I mean, that's 4 for a 26 average for Wilmington, 4 for a 36.5 average for Northern. But just not a lot of good numbers. I mean, time of possession is about even. Northern's about 3 minutes ahead. Each team is 1 for 7 on 3rd down. Northern's 1 of 1 on 4th down, but they end up losing on that drive. You see the rushing yards are dead even. Passing yards, not that much difference, but Northern had 3 opportunities. The 2 fumbles and the interception after a great interception on the other side. Just kind of came and went. I mean, there's not a rhyme or reason to anything that seemed to happen in the first half.
And Ohio Northern also on defense has come up with some big plays to keep Wilmington out of the end zone. So it's exactly what it is here at halftime, a 7-all contest.
Well, it may surprise people to learn. It was about 5.5 minutes ago. Mount Union is only up 17-14 on Baldwin Wallace, and Baldwin Wallace has the football near midfield.
Yeah, that would be a real shocker in the OAC. And, of course, we also want to mention there was a nice halftime activity. Jason Trusnick's number was retired here at halftime. Of course, he played for the Browns and several other NFL teams. And a very nice ceremony here at Ohio Northern.
The very first number to be retired in almost 140 years of Ohio Northern football.
That's a long time. Kick is away. Second half is in play, and Wilmington will have the football first. Here comes the return. They'll get it back out to near the 20, and the Quakers will have it first and 10, just shy of the, right at the 20, it looks like. So Wilmington with the football to begin the second half, and I will say it looks like the snow has finally stopped. The wind, there's still a little bit of a breeze out of the northwest.
We walked outside and thought, wow, okay, I understand a lot more about this game now. Something kind of odd as this is going on. Wilmington's buses have to use a ton of gas today because the football team's here in Ada. The basketball team is in Defiance. They are leading Defiance 38-34 at the half. Defiance's coach got a technical for slapping the glass, or wanted a technical on a dunk, and then he got one himself.
So Jenkins straight ahead.
You start the or end the half with a bang, you might as well start the next one with a bang.
But you know, Jenkins gets the big play or two, and then somehow Ohio Northern seems to cover him up. Just on the verge of making that big play, and that's, again, that's why we're tied here at 7. Both these two teams have shown flashes of big plays on offense, but in the end, the defense or interceptions or fumbles all went out. So Dixon, the quarterback for Wilmington, he'll take the snap. Jenkins straight ahead.
Oh, just a bull rush.
We'll get to the 45-yard line.
Penalty flag came from the sideline at 25 yards down the field.
And very late, too.
And a face mask. Michael Johnson waved his finger. He said no. I don't think that he's going to be able to
win that argument.
Yeah.
So that's going to go against Ohio Northern. That's a penalty that's going to put it all the way down to near the 40-yard line. Let's see how they mark it at the 41. So it's 1st and 10, Wilmington moving into Ohio Northern territory. Football at the Polar Bear 41.
Now, how about Johnson? Pretty much the way that goes is 2 carries for about 40 yards to open the half.
Jenkins is only a freshman as well.
Well, you wanted the shootout they had in Wilmington last year. He might get it.
Straight back as Dixon intercepted by Young. He's got it. He's at the 40. He'll dive forward. Number 17, Dalton Young, with the interception. What is that, 4 interceptions on the season for him?
And here you see the replay. I'm not quite sure if they ever saw him because he just jumped the middle, and he had a pick 6 last year, or last week rather, but he also had 3 interceptions, like you said, coming into today.
Big play by Ohio Northern's defense and Dalton Young.
If you like interceptions, this is the game for you.
And now Ohio Northern's offense back out onto the field. So let's see if the Polar Bears can get something going.
Maybe Jason Trusnick was in one of those uniforms down there. They retired his number. You can't use it. He's got something else on.
He looks like he could play, I can tell you that.
Well, I see he owns a strength and fitness company up in Strongsville, Northeast Ohio.
Nunley to the right side. Gets it across the 45 and pick up a 5. It'll make it 2nd down and 5.
That's a nice run by Nunley, but I would have liked to have seen him be able to have the ability to sort of bounce outside instead of hit the linebacker. Because if he was able to make that extra little cut, he was probably looking at 6.
Nunley still in the backfield. There's the snap. Figueroa's going to run it right side. Looking for the first down. Has it more. Across the 40. Deep into Wilmington territory. It'll go to the 38-yard line. So Polar Bears pick up the first down and look like they're on the move here on their first possession of the second half.
You'll see it. Watch the quick first step. A little hesitation and able to follow his man through the hole. That is the second longest run of the year for the Northern quarterback.
Nunley, he goes right side. Not much running room there. Looks like he may have lost a yard.
The sheriff was there.
You like that name.
That's what happened. I think that's the greatest
perfect
thing.
name for a linebacker.
It's a perfect name for a linebacker, right? Yeah. Like the fact that the kid's name is, his last name is quite literally Sheriff. I mean, if he's not a starting middle linebacker out of the womb, I don't know how that works.
Second down and 11. Figueroa and Nunley have a conversation. Now they're set. Here comes the snap. Figueroa, same play, right side. He'll go across the 30-yard line. Gets near the first down. That is going to be a little bit short of it, but a nice run by Figueroa.
Still picks up 10, and this is obviously a key. You talked about in the keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, about controlling the line of scrimmage.
They've got a timeout on the field.
Trying to fix the chains.
Fixing the chains. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsors here today. John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco, all bringing you today's contest between Ohio Northern and Wilmington. And we're set with a key third down play here.
Apparently there was an issue with how much time was on the clock as well.
It's at 11:29 right now, but still waiting on it to be set. It's going to go to 11:35, so now we're ready to go.
They were trying to get that heater working next door.
Yeah, that's right. And that's a long story for another day. Figueroa to the right side, handoff. Martin. Is that Martin with it?
Yep. I just wasn't sure that he was going to be able to get through that pile.
And
again, just a quick draw. It didn't have to be anything fancy.
They'll move the chains.
I think this possession was always going to be four down territory, anything to the north side of midfield.
Tangeman will go to the, starts out to the right side. He'll come back over to the left side. And he'll be wide with Ike inside him. Martin in the backfield. He'll be the lead blocker as Figueroa will push himself forward as Stinnett will make the tackle.
That was pretty easy for him to do, too, because he jumped inside where there was no blocker at and just sort of cut Figueroa off at the knees.
Second down and 7. Football at the 24-yard line. Third quarter action. Bill Robinson Field, Dial-Roberson Stadium. Ohio Northern trying to get the upper hand against Wilmington. Snow flurries have subsided here in the second half. Martin just a step away from a bigger gain.
That is a brilliant open field tackle by the safety in Zach Schmidt.
Schmidt's been in a lot of plays here today.
Watch him just sort of shoot the gap on the outside, and he waits for Martin, and he's able to clip him up. Good wrap around the knees to make sure he didn't go anywhere.
That makes it third down and 5. Wilmington shuffling some defensive line personnel in and out.
By the way, Baldwin Wallace with a minute and a half to go, down 3 to Mount Union, is at the Mount Union at 1 yard line.
Oh my, Figueroa in trouble. I think that's Stinnett again.
I think you're correct. Loss of 5 on the sack.
Big loss, so that's going to make it.
And the sheriff again.
Can't beat the sheriff, that's for sure.
Shout out to his family, wherever they're watching from.
Here comes a field goal attempt. DeFalco, Dom DeFalco.
44 almost straight away for Dom. His long this year is 44.
5 out of 8 on the season. DeMario will hold it. Good snap. Kick is up and it's going to be.
I think that was
wide
partially
right.
blocked. I'm not 100% sure, but the way that ball spun sideways after it got across the line, you'll see here. See, maybe somebody to the right side gets a fingertip on it. It looked like one of those guys might have gotten a
Might have been one of the big linemen that may have got a hand or so on that. So Ohio Northern's field goal goes wide to the right side, and Wilmington will have the football as it'll rest at the 27-yard line. So Ohio Northern trying to kick that field goal to get those points to put them into the lead, but we're still tied at 7-all. That would be a real stunner with Baldwin Wallace. And
they're
Mount
leading
Union.
now. Baldwin Wallace just scored on a 1-yard touchdown run for Reese Warner and now lead the number 2 team in the country with 22 seconds to go by 3.
And what, Wilmington lost 13-12 to
Miles Aldrich again.
Aldrich with the
Yes,
stop.
it is.
It was a 1-point loss for Wilmington.
Watch Aldrich just put this play to a stop in a hurry. You'll see 39 come by, and boom.
Great effort by Aldrich, and now it's going to be second down. Let's call it 14. Comes the snap. Dixon rolls to his left, passes incomplete.
He was closer to the 2 Northern guys laying on the turf than he was to connecting on that pass to his own guy.
Pass intended for Wynn again.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, wasn't anywhere near. Terrion Ross would have been the closest guy to it.
Third down and 14.
You know, one thing that has impressed me about the right side of the offensive line for Wilmington is that Josh Beaver, who's number 4 all-time in TFLs and number 2 in sacks, to only Jason Trusnick, they've almost made him a non-factor in terms of the tackling game.
Dixon looks to his right. Pass is completed.
About the 47 is, I think, where the receiver went down, but gain of 27 on the pickup. Watch the replay on this. Just a quick hitter down the right sideline. Dixon took what he was given and worked to midfield.
And now Wilmington on the move. Football rests at the 50-yard line.
Baldwin Wallace kicked the extra point to go up 21-17 with 20 seconds to go on Mount Union, and then got tagged for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So they're going to kick from way back. Is it a penalty flag?
Flag on the field. Illegal substitution for Wilmington.
All right. What a win that would be for Baldwin Wallace, though.
That'd be huge.
They said it's 7-2. They're 7-1 into the OAC. I think their only loss is to John Carroll.
What does that do to the OAC standings? That really sets a...
Well, you've got Mount at 8-0. They beat John Carroll. John Carroll's 8-1. Baldwin Wallace would be 8-1. So you'd have a 3-way tie.
3-way tie for first in the OAC. Boy, that's a shocker. Well, we saw Mount Union earlier in the year, and there might be good reasons for today's event, but it looks like Baldwin Wallace coming up with a big win in OAC play, one of the biggest upset of the year.
Baldwin Wallace trailed 17-0, by the way, at halftime. So they have 21 straight points in that ball game.
Jenkins in motion.
Good play by Dixon. Just keep running.
Looking downfield, it's going to be incomplete.
It's not a smart play on his part, I don't think. Penalty flag on the other side. It's from the opposite sideline. I don't know if there was a question of if he was over the line when he got rid of it.
Ben Hobbs, number 28 in the backfield for Wilmington.
An eligible man downfield.
For 73.
It's out of the offensive lineman in Riley Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Out of Perrysburg. Probably not a happy group last night after they got blown out. Yellow Jackets finally have their season come to an end.
It's going to make it second down and make it third down and 11.
Northern declined the penalty, that's why.
Third down and 11.
They moved it and marched it off to make it 2nd and 16. And then Northern said, no, I don't think so. We'll take the third down. And somebody forgot, oh, we got to move the ball back.
That would have been a good third down play.
It would have been fascinating to see how that works out. Dixon's got to maybe hit something over the middle here.
Dixon straight back. In trouble.
What I meant by the middle hit him. Miles Aldrich and Woodfork in on the tackle, but the tackling machine and Dalton Jong. And that good guess by Northern to bring the pressure from the outside. You'll see Dixon, he'll realize right there he's got nowhere to go and no friends to help him out. But look at the strength of Miles Aldrich. The fact that he's able to sort of still make that tackle despite the fact that he's being pushed down by a lineman.
Larimer will kick it away.
You need a spark here if you're Northern.
5:25 to go, third quarter. There's the kick. Mario will make the fair catch.
It'll be fascinating to see what the deal breaker is in this ball game. Northern starts for the second time in this half at their own 40-yard line.
1st and 10, football at the 30-yard line. Ohio Northern trying to get something going here.
Mount Union got to the Baldwin Wallace 48. They took a timeout with 4 seconds to go.
Looks like Garrison Higgins in a quarterback for Ohio Northern. He'll hand off to Nunley.
Gain of 3. Let's see if I can find
second down and 7.
Figueroa. I don't know if that's a procedure thing or if that's a precaution thing.
Figueroa is on the sidelines, right behind the two quarterbacks or two players that are sending in the signals.
So the former Hawaii and Utah quarterback, meaning that he played high school football in those states, started out in his first handful of years up till he was a senior and moved to Utah.
Higgins straight back, looking down the field, in trouble. He'll scramble. Pass will be incomplete. Headed for Ike. Almost found a Wilmington defender. Joey Weichel, number 10, a linebacker near that one.
I would love to be in the film room when they break that one down this week. Kind of on the way out of what do we do. You talked about building for next year. You've got Figueroa and you've got Garrett Higgins. Both are freshman quarterbacks. But that may have been a I want so badly to make a play throw.
There was a lot of white and green uniforms there. Higgins in trouble. He'll go down at the 30-yard line.
Hit a sidestep his center, and Zach George ends up losing 3.
That's going to make it 4th down. And once again, John Michael Elliott will come onto the field.
You'll see here on the last play, he's thinking, he's looking, there's nothing going on downfield. And he has to cross over the 3 defenders with his center.
It's too bad he didn't go to the right.
I don't think it was an option. I think the 3 guys in the white jerseys had different plans. Oh my goodness. You have got to be kidding me. I'll tell you in 1 second how the Mount Union game ends after this punt.
There's the kick away. That's quite a shocker, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And Ohio Northern will down it at the 40.
The number 2 team in the country, the Mount Union Purple Raiders, will remain unbeaten. So they start a drive at the 46, or after the score. They get out to midfield with 48 yards to go and 4 seconds on the clock. Braxton Plunk throws a 48-yard touchdown to Wayne Ruby Jr. to win it as time expires.
And that's why you're number 2 in the country.
I mean,
wow.
think about it, 22 seconds, and they had to go basically the length of the field. But they were able to pull it out. So instead of a three-way tie at 8-1, you'll have 9-0 sitting on top of the conference.
Mount Union OAC champs. Wow. What a dramatic ending to that one.
I can't even fathom. My heart goes out to Baldwin Wallace.
That's a crusher.
To score that late in that ball game and to control the second half. 21 straight points you scored in the second half and then give up one. Apparently Hail Marys are answered on Saturday.
At least that one was. Of course, we saw Mount Union earlier in the season, and Ruby's about as good a receiver as you can find.
And Plunk's about as good of a quarterback in the country as anybody has ever had.
Dixon in trouble. He's going to scramble at the 50 across midfield. He'll go out of bounds.
Gave him 13 yards.
First down, and Wilmington moves the chains, but it seems like both these two teams move the chains, but then there comes the big miscue, the interception or the fumble or the penalty or whatever, and it stops their progress. Dixon looks to the sidelines. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go, third quarter.
I was just thinking how warm they probably are at John and Tony's right now.
That's very true. They're very warm.
Speaking of, there's Beaver. I talked about that
you got him
a couple of minutes ago,
Michael. Josh Beaver with the sack.
Watch this one. This is just straight brute force between he and Kadarius Woodfork, able to get off the line and then just meet at the quarterback. Beaver now, 30.5 career sacks. This is 8.5 this year.
Dixon, he'll take the snap. Straight back, good look, going long, there it is. Touchdown Wilmington. Win with the catch, and that's going to put Wilmington in front 13-7. You could see it. He had plenty of time.
Yeah, and here you go. All the replay. Watch Dixon drop back. Good blocking up front. He's able to fire one high, and Wynn does the rest. Picks it up at the 11 and gets himself into the end zone.
Matika Wynn with the touchdown reception.
His 7th of the year. He had a big, when the teams played in the spring, he's had a career really against Northern. 8 catches, 96 yards the last time. He had 8 for 131 and 3 touchdowns in 2020.
Best will add the extra point. No, he doesn't.
No, he plinked it off the right upright.
Goes wide right, so the extra point, and an important one, is no good. So our score, Wilmington 13, Ohio Northern 7. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Matika wins, 52-yard pass reception from quarterback Adam Dixon. The difference now in this one makes it 13-7. The all-important extra point is missed by Wilmington, and as we have 1:30 to go here in the third quarter, and now it's almost mandatory that Ohio Northern's offense gets back into sync and puts some points on the board.
Oh, we got to have your buddy hold it. That didn't go well last time. Kentucky's apparently not a football school, by the way. They got beat by Vanderbilt. That'll teach their coach to
really
teach their coach to maybe say some things.
That's a surprise too.
I think he was surprised. State volleyball, shout out to the Bremen, state champs. Coldwater, runners up.
sorts of good stuff in the area. Short kick, fielded at the 34. Still on his feet.
Is that Terrion Ross?
That's Ross, number 8, yeah. I believe he's going to come all the way across the field and is knocked out at about the 39-yard line. Yeah, Terrion Ross.
Trying to decide if it was Ross or Peyton with the dual numbers.
I think that's Ross, though, isn't it?
I thought so.
Let's look at it one more time.
What a move, though. Right about here. He just makes one quick move and takes off.
So that changes things on one kick. And Ohio Northern will have the football at the 40-yard line.
Well, we've been saying they needed a spark.
Maybe this is it. Let's see what happens.
It was Terrion Ross.
Figueroa back in at quarterback. He's going to keep it. Big hole. Left side. Figueroa across the 25.
I think he should be given about the 21, yeah. Because he rolled across the defender. He was never actually down.
Should be.
They gave him the 22 to give him 17 yards. But watch the end of this run. He almost pulled off the old play where you land on the guy, you never touch the ground, and then you just get up and run away.
First down, Ohio Northern. Polar Bears on the move. As you can see, third quarter winding down. Ohio Northern down by 6. Figueroa, big hole again, straight ahead. Got hit pretty good, but I think I was stinted again.
Adam Figueroa is the leading rusher for Ohio Northern right now. 18 carries, 69 yards. He's only carried the football 85 times on the year. Really not necessarily indicative of what he can do because he didn't start. Actually, he's at 19 for 79 now. But remember, he wasn't the starter when the year opened. Didn't take over until I think around game 3.
Ohio Northern, 2 tight ends. Martin fake to him, pass to the wing. It's going to be incomplete.
That's a smart play by Ike, though. You know he's played a lot of football over the years because it was so close to being essentially a lateral down the line that he wanted to just make sure.
So that'll make it 3rd down and 5 as the clock stops with just a second left here in the third quarter. So should be our final play of quarter number 3. Figueroa looking for the end zone, and he'll find it. Aiden Figueroa with the run. 17-yard touchdown run, and Figueroa has tied it up.
Watch him get through the hole, and he'll catch one block on the inside to his right hip right there. And they just said, you know, oh, defense? No, forget those guys. I left them back at the 5.
We're tied at 13.
He's 91 yards of the ground.
It's a beautiful day for him. Dom DeFalco, perfect in extra points. Trying to continue that streak. It'll give Ohio Northern the lead. Good snap, good hold. Kick looks good, and it is. Ohio Northern climbs into the lead. Our score, Ohio Northern 14, Wilmington 13. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
Extra point kick by Ohio Northern's Tom DeFalco, that's the difference in this one. As special teams for Ohio Northern gives them a 1-point lead, 14-13.
Why wouldn't it be your senior kicker in his very last game as a Polar Bear who gives you the lead?
Of course, it's only natural.
It's like it's a script.
Yeah. Kick is away, and it's a good one. Wilmington fakes the reverse. Special teams now in trouble. Here comes Wilmington's returner, and he'll get it across midfield.
Penalty flag at the end of that run. There's Juwan Clark out of Paris, Kentucky.
Paris, Kentucky. What a beautiful
It's about where he started that run.
Paris, Kentucky.
That's
nice
his longest return of the year, a 5'9" junior. His previous was 29, but that was a big hole, and he kind of just sprinted through it. I think this might be against.
So it's going to go against Wilmington, looks like.
Illegal blindside block. You don't get that one often. Good news is you get to keep the ball. ONU men's soccer program, by the way, pulled out a 4-2 win in penalty kicks in the NCAA tournament. They are hosting tomorrow, as they'll play at 3 o'clock against the teams getting ready to go here in a bit. There you see the block somewhere along the line there on the big return by Clark.
Penalty goes against Wilmington, so the Quakers will have the football at their own 45. Still good field position for the green and white. Dixon. Handoff right side.
Beaver made the tackle, and then he got laid out by one of his own guys.
Ball goes to midfield.
I think it was Colin Flynn, who actually, I thought this was fascinating, found out that he plays linebacker at 225, but when he was in high school at Nordonia, he actually wrestled at 170.
That's a big weight difference.
I saw
there.
2 different pictures of him and thought, that's the same kid?
Football at midfield.
One guy that I have not seen a lot of, by the way, is Mikey Moon, the middle linebacker. Miles Aldrich has sort of taken over that spot as Woodfork makes a stop on Dixon after a couple of yards.
Makes it 3rd down and short. I'll tell you, Miles Aldrich has had quite an afternoon for Ohio Northern. 3rd down and short.
And as we've learned over the years, you want to play middle linebacker at Northern, you got to be a special type of kid. Got to have that mean streak in him. That Trustnik guy that was here earlier, he was all right.
Got that mean streak.
It's really impressive, though, too, because he really put Northern as a defensive squad on the map when he was here in the early 2000s.
Dixon, he'll go straight back. There comes the pressure and an incomplete pass. And Miles Aldrich.
I'll give you one guess who that was that made that hit.
That's Aldrich.
Miles Aldrich again. Watch here. Watch him just sprint through. Can't nobody stop my hustle.
It's amazing.
Nobody touched him.
Dixon even got that one away. It's 4th down and 2, and Wilmington is going to make the choice to punt the football. Football is at the Ohio Northern 47-yard line.
They seem like they're going to punt the football. They've run a couple of fakes this year as they'll run on a man who lost his coat.
Larimer will stand at the 39, and he will kick it indeed. Hits at the 22, takes a Northern bounce out of bounds somewhere in the vicinity of the 25-yard line. So Ohio Northern will have the football, and they've got the lead at 14-13 on the John and Tony's restaurant scoreboard.
I always wondered at what point as a coach, I mean, you're just inside midfield. You're down by 1. There's 13 minutes to go. At what point does your momentum in your brain shift from it's 2 yards, let's punt, let's not give them back anything, to it becomes must go for it territory? You think 6, 7, 8 minutes maybe left?
I would say it's I'd say a lot of it has to do with the confidence that you got in your quarterback or offensive unit. Interception at midfield, and Wilmington will have the football back at the northern 40-yard line.
It's a safety again. It's Lee again.
Jared Lee, second interception.
Third of the year, but he's got 2 of them today. Look, that ball was just enough underthrown. Now watch right here, though. Ike only makes this tackle because of that. Because he kind of ran into his own guy who didn't see or something where he went. And now the momentum changes completely again, and that's what you were talking about at halftime. We talked about adjustments Northern could make. They couldn't get the buildup of one play into the next. Something would happen. They'd punt, turnover on downs, or throw an interception.
And here comes Wilmington, sitting at the Ohio Northern 40, going long. They're going for it all, and it's going to be incomplete.
Wilmington wants that penalty flag on Ed Manning.
They really do. Kind of got to hold your breath if you're an Ohio Northern fan.
Well, it's kind of an awkward ball, too, because the way that was thrown over the top, I'm not quite sure that if Manning, and I don't think there's a question that Manning is on the receiver, but how much would he have had a chance to actually catch that ball? I don't think he would have. It was kind of an awkward throw, and he was turning sideways.
So we've got a timeout on the field with 12:49 to go. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for today's broadcast. John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco, all bringing you today's contest. I'd like to also remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's college football action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Saturday, November the 19th at 4 p.m., Monday, November 21st at 5 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Wilmington with the football, 1st and 10. Handoff left side. Jenkins will pick up 3.
Dalton Chong in on the tackle again. As not a surprise to anybody, but his linebacking crewmate Peyton Wilson was there. Maybe the most interesting part, I think, was the flip by the third tackler. I think Manning went out. He was injured on that play that he broke up that pass.
Wilmington looking for the signal from the sideline. 12:15 to go in this one.
Cowbell guy woke up.
Where did he go?
He went to get a hot dog, went to get a burrito.
Here comes the snap, straight back. Looking downfield, going for it all, but it's going to be incomplete. Looking for Jones. Ohio Northern well defends the play, and the clock stops at 12:02, and Wilmington will bring on.
I think at some point we're going to end up with the answer to my question, because it's the exact same point on the field that Wilmington just kicked away from last time. Now there's about 2 minutes less on the clock, but something's going to give at some point. You're still down 1.
A punt from the 37. And good snap. Good pressure, fair catch. Made for, but it's going to bounce into the end zone, and Ohio Northern to have it back out at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. So
the sophomore Martinez came after that one. He's gotten there a couple of different times, but he did the smart thing, turned his hips away from the punter so they couldn't say that he ran into him. Because punters will be con artists. They'll try to make you believe that they should get an Emmy and the ball back.
Ohio Northern will have the football. 1st and 10. Football, as we said, at the 20-yard line. Figueroa ran Ohio Northern to a touchdown. He's going to run it again. Picking his way through the left side. And perhaps a yard. 2nd down and Let's call it 9.
I think he's at 92 yards now on 21 carries. 4 for 13 throwing the football.
They could go over 100 yards here on this drive if they can put together a few plays.
Better question is, who's the last guy to run for 100 yards this year for Northern?
That's a great question. I think the answer is probably easy. Pass is complete.
I think it's Nunley, actually.
Peyton made the catch.
Meaning the rusher.
Nunley?
No, it was, you were right, it was LJ Payton, but I'm saying I would be surprised if it wasn't Nunley for the last guy to go over 100 yards.
Oh, for the last 100 yards, I have to dig down into the record books for that one. Stat sheets as Miller will come back in.
Thankful they have a great stat-keeping crew here.
They do. Boy, are they busy today. Soccer, basketball, football, everything going on today here at Ohio Northern. And a penalty.
Illegal substitution. I swear he said number 7.
He did say number 7.
That's what threw me off. Is Jordan Dean? It's not often that you get that on a receiver.
7.
Well, Brock Martin is the last guy to run for 80. He had 86 against Muskingum.
7 comes into the lineup now.
Yeah, Jordan Dean, who's played in a handful of plays. Had that one target earlier on.
Well, Jordan Dean and Ike will go to the left side. 2 receivers here to the right side as well. Figueroa.
He's got to do something.
In trouble. He's dancing.
Throw it
away.
Looking
downfield. Pass is incomplete. Trying to get upfield to Brock Martin. Stops the clock at 10:05 and 4th down and 6. And Ohio Northern's going to be forced to punt the football.
I would be curious to see that through his eyes this year as a freshman and then the next 3 years of kind of what he does, because I thought at one point the way that broke down, the pressure was from his right. He was going to maybe scramble out and just throw it away. It's kind of the old thing about how it's hard for offensive linemen to keep their blocks for that long. It's hard for defenses to keep a receiver that long. And I think the latter is the theory he was working on.
Elliott's kick, nice high kick, fair catch by Zach Schmidt at the 40-yard line. So field position just doesn't change an awful lot here for Wilmington, but Ohio Northern's defense continues to do the job. 14-13. Just under 10 minutes to go in this one.
Northern does not have a 100-yard rusher this year.
So this could be this would be the first for the season.
This is the highest total that a Northern running back, or I should say a Northern rusher, at this point has had. 92 yards. Brock Martin on 2 different occasions had 89 previous.
Short gain and call it 2-yard pickup, make it 2nd down and 8. Football at the 42-yard line. Nine minutes, 20 seconds plus as the clock counts down. Short pass completed to Jones. He'll dive across the 50.
Gains 9, enough for the first down.
Just into Ohio Northern territory. Wilmington with the football, pick up the first down.
Kind of again goes back to, do you believe this is a 4-down territory drive?
Dixon, 11 out of 23, 196 yards passing. Couple of touchdowns, couple of interceptions. Signal caller takes the football. Here comes the pressure, going long, and it's going to be incomplete.
He's trying to hook up with Wynn, who's got 6 balls for 95 yards and that 52-yard score that at the time was the go-ahead score. Nehemiah Jenkins just a pair of yards under 100. It's not bad, though, I think, on a first down at midfield. Kind of just a quick see if they're paying attention, one-on-one sort of thing. I think there's got to be a run to Jenkins, I believe, to kind of set up third down here. If he picks up 6 or 7, you're feeling pretty good about third down.
Jenkins, he'd go over the 100-yard mark with a couple of yards here, as you noted, Michael. Got a
time ran out. Play clock.
Play clock. That's a major mistake.
That is the worst thing you can have happen. And I'm trying to remember what game it was. I think it was the Alma game. We talked about time management and possession as it ended up going to overtime. And if you remember, they'll put 12 seconds back on the clock. If you remember the end of that game, Northern had a possession where they were in a similar situation about this time in the game. And we were sitting there thinking, all right, they let 30 seconds go here. They let 12 seconds go here. And when it got down towards the end of the game, both teams sort of needed that extra couple of seconds and didn't have it.
Very true. Jenkins on the run.
See, now I look like a fool because I said to run it on second down, but it was 2nd and 9 then.
It's going to be still third down and 15.
But now Northern knows you have to throw the football. See, I don't feel like you have an option to run the football here.
Long yardage situation. Clock coming up on 8 minutes. Northern certainly content to let the clock right now run.
But as odd as this is, the play clock's at 7. I don't necessarily feel like Wilmington is playing for this drive. I feel like they're playing for their next one right now because they're making some timing choices.
Dixon is going to throw it out of bounds, stops the clock at 7:42, and now they're going to have to punt it away. So they're trying. You think they're doing the field position game? I
mean, I feel like you almost have to be. The way that you let that clock run out, there's probably 25, 30 seconds in there because, again, the play clock went to 8. So that's at least 17 seconds that you're punting, hoping for a stop, that Northern maybe takes 2 minutes off the clock, and then you get the ball back somewhere near midfield. Well, why don't you just work from midfield now? You have the ball now. We'll get hate mail for that one.
There's the kick. Not the greatest punt. 27-yard line. As DeMarco will make the catch. DeMario, rather, excuse me. Makes the fair catch at the 27. And Ohio Northern has it now at the 27. So even though the punt didn't give them any kind of real advantage there because it was so short. I mean, if it was a kick that would have been back to, say, the 10-yard line, then that puts you got a little pressure on Ohio.
You're theoretically getting the ball back near midfield, but that's what I'm saying is you have the ball at midfield now.
Might as well do it now.
You have 2nd and 15. You can't effectively run the ball on that down.
It's a snap. Nunley to get it up to the 29-yard line, so makes it 2nd down and 8.
Because you'd assume that Northern has at least 2 runs here to open up this drive, and then maybe, depending on where they're at, to set up a pass or a play action on third down. But they're going to get at least a minute off the clock between those 2 plays. Because Northern, with the lead, they don't have to do anything. They would like more points, obviously, but they can kind of win the war of attrition.
Nunley straight ahead. Nice gain here as he gets it near the 35-yard line, so it's going to be third down and short.
Also helps if you do that.
That's a big run because it's third down and 2. Football goes all the way out to the 35 now.
Oh, and you 60 and 30 all time in this building. They're 30 and 10 in the month of November with Dean Paul as head coach.
Some pretty amazing numbers in the month of November for Ohio Northern over the years.
It's also crazy to think that, oh, wow,
There's Figueroa.
He got it. He got 3, but what's crazy to me to think about that is he gets the first down. The entire time that this facility has been open, Dean Paul has been the head coach.
That's
nobody else has coached the ONU Polar Bears as the head coach at this field. It's just crazy because you think, oh, this place hasn't been open that long. Well, Dean Paul's been here, what, almost 20 years?
Yep, 19 seasons, 116 and 71, 62% winning percentage.
Good play.
Here comes the run. There's the first down, almost a breakaway play. One step away as Nunley just missed breaking that one.
You'll see on the replay, watch him get to the end of this run. He gets to that second level so quick out of Cleveland and Mayfield High School. It's about where he ran back to. Caleb Easley with another tackle. Didn't get to say hi, Mom, this time around. But now, all of a sudden, you're back to where I was trying to illustrate on Wilmington's last drive of what is their doomsday scenario. 5.5 minutes to go.
And Ohio Northern has it at their own 49.
They've quickly picked up 22 yards.
Nunley cuts upfield into Wilmington territory across the 40.
What a great change of direction he made there to pick up 12 yards. Watch this one. Looks like he's going one way, and then just quickly with a shift comes back up the middle and tortures the defense for another 12 yards.
Jamar Nunley coming alive on this drive for the Polar Bears. That was a beautiful run by the young man.
So now it'll be about 4 minutes ago after this play. And the drive that started at 7:35 at the ONU 27 has bared some pretty big fruit so far.
Figueroa, he'll take the snap. Nunley again, across the 35.
Got another 5. I wrote this one
at the 34.
I wrote this one down and I thought it was a pretty neat stat. Ohio Northern has won 20 of their last 24 regular season finales. Only one of those has been decided by less than 1 touchdown. And of those 20 wins, it probably won't happen today, but Northern has tallied 50 or more points 7 times.
It's usually an offensive display in the finale.
It was last year. 62 points in the finale last year.
What was that, 500 passing yards?
Yeah, school record 502 and 7 touchdowns.
That's a lot.
Only with maybe a yard.
We're kind of in the reverse of that scenario of last year. 14-13.
There are not 500 total yards in this game.
No.
27 first downs, 11 on the ground for Ohio Northern, who just took over the time of possession lead. Net yards rushing 187 to 110 right now on 45 attempts for ONU. 274 total yards for ONU on 61 plays, 315 on 54 plays. So we just cleared the 500-yard mark. Probably on this drive.
3rd down and 4. Brock Martin in the backfield. Figueroa is going to run it. It'll be close to the first down, but
they did not catch the fact that the right tackle left way early.
Ball's going to be placed at the 30, so just about a yard short of a first down.
Watch the replay here. You'll see the right side. Watch the actually the guard on the inside left early, and watch the hand at the end of this. Just kind of that's how things go. But remember 5 minutes ago?
Yep.
I opined about what exactly Wilmington had in the thought process. It comes down to this play. Figueroa stares at the play clock.
He'll go straight ahead. First down and more. Figueroa, Aiden Figueroa will find the end zone. 30-yard touchdown run.
He might run to Kenton.
He's still going.
30 yards past the discus golf.
Touchdown, Figueroa at Ohio Northern with a 1:57 to go. Makes it a 7-point game. All important extra point coming up.
How many people do you think touch him? Let's see. 0, 0, 0. Oh, and even with 0 chasing him, he's now the first 100-yard rusher for Ohio Northern this season.
DeFalco will go for the extra point. Good snap, good hold, kick. Looks good. 1:57 remains. Our score, Ohio Northern 21, Wilmington 13. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
Northern 21, Wilmington 13. You go back to the very beginning of today's broadcast, talking about right direction is one of the key words that Coach Dean Paul is concerned about. He wants the program going in the right direction with a win here today. But there's a couple of young men out there, freshmen and sophomore, they've taken their lumps for most of the season, but today they're playing some pretty good football.
Yeah, like the poet LL Cool J would say, doing it and doing it and doing it well. I have a lot of things in the future that, man, you got to be excited. I mean, if you're ONU fan, you don't like the way this year's going. They'll end up 3 wins, barring they hold on to this, but it's just so much good young talent, and that doesn't even count what I know they have coming in on the recruiting trail.
Wilmington with the return.
Uh-oh.
He's got some running room. Clark. He'll be brought down there by Abels, I believe. Let's see, make that Nate Dean.
And some folks that just don't like each other.
Football's going to be in Ohio Northern territory as they sort through the skirmish at midfield.
Let's look into Corey Filipovich's head right now. 5-8, 2003 Muskingum grad, the acting head coach for Wilmington. Starting at Northern's 48, almost identically to where you started your last drive. What is your first play right here? Are you killing time or are you going for the home run?
Well, I would think that going for the home run. What do you think? Home run. They've got the speed on the outside.
You got one-on-one on the bottom side.
And
the play clock just elapsed. He got beat by the play clock again. You can't.
Wilmington's wondering why it was so short.
I thought that too, actually. You can't have that happen. I mean, that's just...
That's second time here today that play clock has...
It's the second drive in a row.
Been a factor. It's going to be a screen, but it's going to be incomplete as Ohio Northern put good pressure on the quarterback, read the screen well, and
Ben Hobbs didn't have a chance.
Wasn't going anywhere that time.
It's not a bad play call, though, against a hyper-aggressive defense. Just took too long to set up. Usually when people try to do that, they kind of go to the quarterback's natural side or maybe a middle screen. He had to turn, get away from a defender, and come all the way back to the left.
Football at the 47, second down and 15. Under pressure, Dixon rolls to his right. Incomplete.
I'm not sure what Dixon's mad about. He's screaming at his receiver. That one's on him. If you watch that play back, the one thing that stands out to me is the fact that he patted the football. And usually most defensive backs will kind of use that as a mechanism to try to get in front of a receiver. Because if he's taking all the time to pull back on that, he's probably not going to get his best throw. Dixon's a heck of a first-year starter, though.
1:39 to go. 3rd and 15. This is a big play. Next two are huge for Wilmington. Dixon straight back. Sack, Ohio Northern.
Johnson and Woodfork having a massive game. Watch them. You'll just see both 9 and 5 come out of the side of your picture, and you'll see 5 in the white jersey disappear. Black jerseys
right
and
there.
turf for everybody. Coming into today, Dixon had been sacked 30 times. I think he's been sacked 5 or 6 today.
Been a great defensive effort by Ohio Northern as the big sack by the Polar Bears, and 1:24 to go makes it 4th down and 22. So Wilmington takes the timeout to regroup. Football at their own 40, but now you're on life support right now. It's either first down or this game is pretty much over.
4th down to the carry it at this point. The carryouts, they're down there saying, why are all these receivers just spotted up outside of our establishment? Well, because we got to get from here to there.
That's true. Is it the Four Seasons drive?
That's what I was thinking of, yeah. I've been through there enough times.
Wilmington.
So, why'd you bring Jason Trusnick with you? He was available.
We know what number he played for, that's for sure. Number 96 is retired.
It's a heck of a year. Look at the blanket coverage that Northern's now playing as they go with a 3-man rush.
Dixon straight back. He's got nobody to throw to.
And
here comes the pressure.
He can't throw it away.
He go throw it up.
Oh, my goodness.
Intercepted. Ohio Northern.
He stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds, and there's flags all over the place.
The question is, did he get hit out of bounds?
This would be a concern for Ohio Northern.
He's got to pick up 22, but if it's a personal foul,
it may be an automatic first down.
That's what I'm wondering, depending on what the call is.
There you see the officials. Big play in this one.
He just dropped another flag. Excuse me, sir, I think you're going to need that back. This should be fascinating. Because either the game is, for all intents and purposes, over, or we're going to have hilarity ensue. The personal foul on Northern.
Against Northern.
Miles Aldridge. There you go.
Automatic first down. But
here's the play itself.
But the ball goes to...
The ball goes to Northern, right?
The ball goes to Northern, no.
It's after the play.
Let's see it.
Now he says 39. Now watch right here. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt he's standing out of bounds. Based on the letter of the rule, the quarterback had thrown the ball when he's standing out of bounds.
Yeah.
I mean...
You're saying the quarterback was out of bounds.
Right, the quarterback was clearly out of bounds in that play.
Right.
Now, luckily for Northern, it happens after the play is over. So you get the 15 yards, but Northern gets the football on a turnover on downs.
You don't see that call every day, do you?
You really don't. I did not know how that was going to go.
The more games you see, the more unusual calls you'll see.
And think about...
It wasn't wrong or anything, just
no,
an unusual
it just is
play.
an odd play. Think about how that has to be to administrate that. Of the difference between, was it a late hit out of bounds and it's after the play, or is it integral to the play itself? But he had clearly already gotten rid of the ball. You saw it there by the time that Aldridge hit him.
Play clock at 8 seconds, and Martin is going to run it at the 50, to the 45, to the 40. He's hit out of bounds. Stops the clock at 1:07, but he picks up another first down. So Northern on the move, and
speaking of trying to go out with a bang, one of the all-time leading rushers in Ohio Northern program history, in Brock Martin, the All-American. Here you see Austin Ike, who's in the top, I think he's in the top 3 now in receiving in Northern history with those flat black helmets.
Here comes Martin, powering his way forward. He gets across the 35.
You gotta love that in his last carry, though, he just continues to fight. Because that might be one, because this might be a couple of knees.
Wilmington will take a timeout. We'll take a break as well. Our score, Ohio Northern 21, Wilmington 13. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Northern, 1 minute left to play in this one, trying to finish Wilmington off. Brock Martin, 5th-year senior, gets it all the way to the 15. And boy, Michael, he's really power running here on the last 3.
He's trying to get to 100 before the game's over.
Wilmington will take a timeout. We'll keep it right here.
I got a buddy who says, you might as well take them. They don't fit on the bus home with you.
That's right.
There's nowhere to put them. Brock Martin's adhering to that theory.
Clock stops at 54 seconds.
Unofficially, 73 yards on 13 carries for Brock Martin.
Yeah, he's getting close to the 100-yard mark.
Well, I don't think he can
can't quite get it.
He needs 27, as I understand it, of how this math thing works. And he's got 25 yards to work with. So unless they give him extra credit on being 2 yards deep in the end zone.
He's only going to get to 98. Is that what you're saying?
That's how I understand. My math teacher said. But it is a heck of a performance. I mean, this is not a particularly good night for Figueroa throwing the football. 5 of 15, 86 yards, touchdown, and 2 picks. But he was able to,
They take a knee, that's right. Yeah.
Right, they take a knee, and then on the next play, they give it to Brock Martin.
He's back on the 35, but they're just going to take a knee, period.
Tales of things that came from the truck for 1,000, please. By the way, Northern let Trevor McConnell, the 5th-year senior out of Cranbrook in Detroit, take that snap. He was the starter at the beginning of the season when we were here in August. Cool thing for Dean Paul to make sure that Taz is going to be around for a while, hopefully. To make sure that McConnell gets in the book. That'll be the final kneel down. That one should do it. What a comeback win for ONU.
Nice win for the Polar Bears. 21-13 victory as the final seconds will count down and the two teams begin to line up to congratulate each other as Ohio Northern picks up their 3rd win of the season.
21-4 in their last 25 closers.
Big win for Ohio Northern, and we'll come back and have a recap here in just a moment. Once again, our final score, Ohio Northern 21, Wilmington 13. You're watching college football on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success. Whatever Cards and Games in Ada is your locally owned, family-friendly business for all your gaming needs. We carry a wide range of collectible card games, board games, family games, role-playing games, educational games for all ages, and more. Stop in today for your much-needed expansion packs and war miniatures. We are an official tournament store for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Cardfight Vanguard. Expect an enjoyable time at Whatever Cards and Games, where there's fun for everyone.
Ohio Northern finishes the season as they usually do with a victory, 21-13 over Wilmington. Nice solid victory for the Polar Bears, and some real positive notes as they finish this season up, Michael.
I'm not sure how much you can see it. I see that the snow is still falling down there, but somewhere in that pile I noticed that a couple of the senior kids have the game balls. And it was a really nice gesture, I thought, by Dean Paul to make sure that he put a couple of his seniors in there towards the end to make sure that they got the final play of their Ohio Northern career. Brock Martin goes out with a bang, ends up one of his best totals of the year. But this is a game that a long time, I'm sitting there doing scenarios in my head of how this game could possibly end. And I did not see Taz Figueroa on a 30-yard keeper on third down, it was 3rd and 1, taken off the way that he did.
And Figueroa, he had a tremendous rushing effort with over 128 yards, which, as you talked about earlier, the first Northern running back this season to go over 100 yards. So that's big news.
So you see the totals. I mean, 303, 328, big numbers on the board, but 242 to 98. And I really think that the reason that number sticks out for Northern, to me, one, it's their second best total on the year, I believe, in rushing. This is a team that had over 500 yards last week, so a good 1-2 punch to end the year, but it allowed them to do the bottom number. You see an almost 10-minute time of possession advantage, and in the last 7 minutes, they had the ball for probably 5.5 of that 7 minutes.
So it's a big win for Ohio Northern. They go to 3-7 on the season, second or third OAC victory of the year, and look to next year with definitely some promising returners. There you see some of the highlights of today's contest. Let's thank all of our sponsors for today's game. John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco. Scoreboard sponsor, John and Tony's. Additional sponsors, Whatever Cards and Games, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno Mexican Grill with locations in Ada and Shawnee, and Northwest Ohio Liquidations, all bringing you today's contest. NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of today's college football action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Saturday, November 19th at 4 p.m. Monday, November 21st at 5 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. I'd like to thank our crew here today. On the cameras, Mark Fissel, Josh Miller, and James Miller. Assistant Director today, Cody Sanders, and our Director, Scott Robinson. I'm Dave Helmstetter. With me this afternoon, Michael Hearn. From Ohio Northern, our final score, the Ohio Northern University Polar Bears 21, Wilmington College Quakers 13. You have been watching college football on NKTelco Sports.